In a world ruled by machines and horsepower, one giant stands out: the BelAZ 75710. This massive mining truck isn't just big, it's the biggest, strongest, and heaviest that's ever been built. It is nearly 21 meters long with tires taller than most people. It hauls loads heavier than an Airbus A380, and it doesn't just move earth, it reshapes it. As the global demand for raw materials expanded, so did mining operations. Standard vehicles simply could not keep up. The loads became increasingly heavy. Fuel use increased dramatically. Efficiency was already at its peak, and this was when the Belarusian Automobile Plant decided to take on a challenge: to engineer a vehicle so advanced, so absurdly massive, that it would carry more, burn less, and endure longer than anything else on wheels. It's not just a truck, but a moving solution to the mining industry's most pressing problems. Developed in the industrial town of Zhodino, Belarus, the BelAZ 75710 was unveiled in 2013, and from the moment it hit the dirt, became more than a machine. It became a symbol of what's possible when engineering ignores all limits. The BelAZ 75710 wasn't assembled like your average truck. It was born more like a battleship, piece by colossal piece. At the BelAZ plant, the factory floor had to be redesigned just to accommodate the sheer size of this mechanical juggernaut. A standard production line would have buckled under its weight. To begin with, a frame was forged from ultra heavy-duty steel, over 20 meters long and nearly 10 meters wide, designed to support not just hundreds of tons of rock, but also dual diesel engines and a complex electric drive system. This wasn't simply about brute force, it was about precision. Each weld had to hold under seismic levels of stress. Every bolt, hydraulic line, and cable had to be flawlessly installed. And let's not forget those tires, 8 of them, each over 4 meters tall, each weighing more than a regular pickup truck. Specialized cranes lifted them into place while reinforced jacks stabilized the beast during construction. Now let's talk stats, because this is where the BelAZ 75710 leaves every other dump truck in the dust. First off, its empty weight clocks in at 360,000 kilograms. That's before it carries a single rock, but once it's loaded up, you're looking at nearly 810,000 kilograms of raw steel, machinery, and cargo, more than the maximum takeoff weight of an Airbus A380 jumbo jet. Also, the BelAZ doesn't just depend on one engine. Instead, it runs on two 16-cylinder diesel engines, each producing 2,300 horsepower. That's more than 4,600 horsepower when combined, which is enough to power an entire train. These engines don't directly move the wheels. They power 4 electric traction motors, delivering torque precisely where and when it's needed. It's the same principle that powers electric locomotives, now repurposed to move earth instead of people. Also, BelAZ doesn't have a steering wheel. Instead, it uses hydraulic steering, where a computerized system hydraulically turns the front and rear axles. This gives it a tighter turning radius, and with a top speed of around 64 kilometers per hour when unloaded, it may not win drag races, but speed was never the goal. This is a slow, calculated colossus, built not to rush, but to rule. Now, if the BelAZ 75710 is a beast, then its tires are the claws that grip the earth. And they're no ordinary tires. These are 4.03 meters tall, each weighing 5.3 tons. That's heavier than an average African elephant. These tires are reinforced with multiple layers of steel and synthetic compounds. They're engineered to handle the crushing force of 810,000 kilograms and survive sharp rocks, extreme heat, and miles of non-stop punishment. They don't just roll, they endure, carrying the full burden of the world's largest mining machine. Now, it may look like a truck, but it runs more like a high-voltage train. There are no traditional gearboxes here. Instead, each of its 2 massive diesel engines acts as a generator, producing electricity, not motion. That power is then transferred into 4 independent electric traction motors, each attached to a wheel hub. This is known as diesel-electric propulsion. It is a system more commonly found in freight locomotives and naval ships. It's smooth, efficient, and powerful, delivering torque directly to the wheels even on steep, uneven terrain. The BelAZ uses dynamic braking to stop, turning its momentum into electric resistance, slowing down without friction. It's supported by enormous disc brakes cooled by forced air, ready to kick in when hauling down a slope at full load. Smart systems inside the cockpit monitor tire pressure, engine output, terrain slope, and even distribute power automatically between motors. Every working day inside open pit mines, the BelAZ 75710 roars to life. It's tasked to move the Earth quite literally. Whether it's iron ore, copper, or coal, this monster hauls up to 450 metric tons of material in one go. To give you perspective, that's roughly the weight of 6 fully loaded rail cars, all carried by a single machine. Operating the BelAZ 75710 isn't the real challenge, keeping it running is. Because when your truck is the size of a 2-story building, maintenance becomes a full-time profession, and for the technicians who work on it, there are no shortcuts. Changing just one tire can take 6 to 8 hours and requires cranes, hydraulic lifts, and expert coordination. And then there's the engine room, or rather the engine cathedral. 2 V16 diesel engines sit 3 meters tall, surrounded by a jungle of cables, pipes, and electric control units. But it's not just the heavy parts that need attention. The BelAZ is a digital system on wheels. Sensors monitor everything from tire pressure to engine performance. Software updates, diagnostics, and real-time troubleshooting are just as important as wrench work. Now, when it comes to cost efficiency, the BelAZ doesn't just pull its weight, it redefines profitability. Priced at around $6 million, this beast might sound like a wallet buster at first glance, but on the minefield, it pays for itself fast. Because one BelAZ can do the job of 2 to 3 regular haul trucks. That's less fuel consumption, fewer drivers, reduced downtime, and a significantly lower cost per ton hauled. With fewer machines moving the same volume, operational efficiency skyrockets, especially in large-scale open-pit mining operations. BelAZ 75710 holds the Guinness World Record for the largest mining truck ever built. But how does it stack up against its rivals? Let's talk Titans. The Caterpillar 797F, a legend in its own right, tops out at a 400-ton capacity. Impressive until you realize the BelAZ can haul an extra 50 tons. Then there's the Komatsu 980E, praised for its efficiency and electric drive, but it still lags at 363 tons payload. The question isn't whether trucks like this will survive, it's how they'll transform. BelAZ has already begun testing autonomous driving systems, enabling these mega machines to navigate mine routes without a driver. There's also talk of hybrid powertrains, possibly even full electrification in the distant future. With battery tech advancing rapidly and pressure mounting for greener operations, the era of zero-emission heavy haulers has just begun. The BelAZ 75710 may be a steel titan today, but it's also the foundation for the intelligent mine of tomorrow. BelAZ 75710 is a milestone in human engineering, a symbol of what happens when ambition meets capability. It is a reminder that limits are negotiable, that sometimes the best way to solve a big problem is with an even bigger solution. So the next time someone tells you size doesn't matter, show them a picture of the BelAZ 75710. Because in the middle of the mine, size is everything, and this machine? It's a legend on wheels.